If you're on the house hunt right now, you've more than likely considered a new construction home. Because hey, why wouldn't you? They're brand new, you can make it the way you want it, and they're still super affordable. I do have some cautions and some tips when it comes to purchasing a home. I myself, every single primary residence I have ever owned has always been a new construction home. So trust me, I've been through this a few times, and I want to share with you some things so that you don't trip up on some of the things that I tripped up at the very beginning. Number one, the most important thing, I cannot stress this enough. Get real close. I want you to understand. Never walk into a new build community without your real estate agent. Don't do it. That selling agent, they don't work for you. They're not there to represent your best interest. They're trying to sell those homes for the builder. You always want to bring that real estate agent in, because the other reason is if you do go in by yourself and you sign in, you're basically saying you're unrepresented, and then you can't bring a real estate agent in after that. So especially if it's your very first time visiting a community, even if you're just there to browse, just to look, maybe you don't even fully have intentions of purchasing there, I don't care. You always want to use a real estate agent. Once they sign you into that community, then you can go back and forth, because then that community knows that you are represented by your real estate agent. And here's one of the biggest reasons why. I mentioned it before. The selling agent there at the new build community, they're there to get the biggest bang for their buck for that construction, for the home builder, right? They want to sell those homes. They want to sell you as many upgrades as possible. That's their job. They don't have your best interest in mind, as much as they say that they do. And I'm not trying to talk shit about any of these listing agents, but that is the truth when it comes to these building agents. They represent the builder. Trust me. There is so much that is involved with new construction, especially right now. Shortages with construction, with labor. You want to make sure that someone is there every single step of the process to make sure, one, the home is done right, that you're getting everything that you're entitled to, and that you're getting the best price. Most of the time, new construction homes aren't negotiable on their sales price. That doesn't always mean that nothing is negotiable. So again, this varies per builder. Some of them just have a flat rule that, you get what you get. I've seen real estate agents negotiate all kinds of stuff. I got like a free tile upgrade and some other cool things. Always use a real estate agent. It's one of the best pieces of advice that I can give, just in general for purchasing home, but specifically with new construction homes, you always, always, always want to use a real estate agent. I've mentioned it before, but using a real estate agent on the buy side, even when going to a new construction home, it doesn't cost you anything. The builder is still going to pay a commission to your real estate agent. It's not going to cause the price of your home to go higher. It's illegal. They can't do that. It just means that if you don't bring in a real estate agent, then the builder is making a lot more money. So get someone that's going to have your back throughout every single step of the process. It doesn't cost you anything. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be telling your realtor, if you are interested in new construction homes, to take them along with you on your first visit. Never ever go in there alone, guys. Don't do it. One of the other big tips is the incentives that a lot of these new builders offer. You've probably seen it. They probably advertise it, or when you go in, like, oh, we'll give you $10,000 off your closing costs, $5,000 in free upgrades if you use our in-house lender and our insurance guy and this and that. And that's great. Trust me, I've used those incentives before, but don't just take their word for it. You always want to shop around. I will be the very first one to admit, if you bring me a loan estimate from a new construction lender, and then I look at it and we go through it line by line, and your total out of pocket and interest rate and whatever else is significantly less with that new construction home than with me, talk to any of my past clients. I've done it. Be like, you know what? These guys got me beat. That's a hell of a deal. I can't match it, so I recommend you go with them. I'm going to do what's in your best interest, I swear, even if it means I'm not getting a deal, because that's just how I was raised. I feel like I got to do the best thing for those people that I'm helping. Again, don't just take their word for it. Send me a copy of the full loan estimate. This is the one that has the breakdown, because sometimes what happens, not always, is they advertise this really exciting credit or whatever. Sometimes their fees are overinflated or the interest rate's inflated. And so when you compare it dollar for dollar at the very end, and many times I'm less expensive. It doesn't hurt to check. It's a super easy process. Always shop around your lender when looking at the new construction, even if they're offering an incentive, because you just never know what they might do. And there are different loan products out there. Some of these in-house lenders don't offer things like down payment assistance, 2-1 buy downs, or extended rate locks. Man, in this environment right now, if you can't lock your rate in for a year or 6 months, a lot of these new construction communities don't have those options available. whereas we do. There are multiple options for you. You want to make sure that you're getting the best deal and making sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck when it comes to new construction and especially financing. Another quick tip when it comes to just buying a new construction home, in many cases, they're going to require a larger upfront earnest money deposit. And that's to usually hold the lot, especially if you're purchasing like an upgraded lot. In many cases, they have like standard lots and then they have upgraded ones for a premium. A lot of times you have to pay that premium upfront in the form of an earnest money deposit. It'll go towards your final cost at the end, but things tend to be a little bit more expensive with the new construction communities depending on what you're buying. So always be sure to look into that. Another good just overall tips for new construction is they're going to offer many, many different types of upgrades. There's always going to be a standard floor plan with, standard carpet, standard fixtures, and then they have upgraded versions. Be very careful what you choose to upgrade because this is where the builder makes their money. This is where they are charging premiums on things like an updated faucet or updated lights or fixtures. I always go with the builder grade stuff on that because you can replace those. You can pick what you want. Maybe they have upgrades, but you might be able to find something that's more your style for a better price somewhere else. It's a little bit more work that way, but at the end of the day, it's about saving money. If you are going to do upgrades, you want to do structural upgrades that would be very difficult to do after you've closed on the sale of your home. So if they offer something like an extended patio, that could be a smart upgrade to do because after you close on the house, it's going to be pretty difficult to extend the patio once the home's already built. Flooring is also a good one. That's another very difficult thing to do after the home is already built. Every builder is a little bit different. So I know on this house actually that I purchased, they had an upgrade door handle package. Like instead of just the basic door handles, they had these really fancy ones. And for every single door in the house, it was like $600 extra. I'm like, it would cost me way more than $600 to replace every single one of these door handles. So we ended up doing that one. Just always shop around, be aware that there are some types of upgrades that just don't make a ton of sense, and just be very careful. I've seen people do upgrades into $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 above the base sales price. And that brings up another good point. Anytime you're driving by and it says prices starting at $349,900, that is for like a base model with absolutely zero upgrades. And when you walk into that model home, that is not going to be a base model. They upgrade the shit out of these model homes. They want you to buy all that stuff. That's how they lure you in. It is a great sales tactic, but just be careful. You don't want to upgrade absolutely everything because you can go broke real quick by upgrading all those things in that house. Another fantastic reason that you want to be using a real estate agent is the ability to have them track the progress. If you've got a good agent, they should be out there updating you, even taking pictures of the construction, that all the trade work is being done correctly. You'd be surprised how much gets missed in these new construction homes. And it's nobody's fault. There are humans building these homes. Humans make mistakes. Having a real estate agent there to help track your progress, make sure everything's getting done correctly, is going to make all the difference. Depending on how big the home is and what the turn times are, it can take over a year in some cases to build these homes. I do still recommend a home inspection. Even though the home's brand new, you still want to get an independent inspector that's going to go in there and make sure that the work was done correctly, nothing's being missed. These are just some good tips when it comes to purchasing a new construction home. So these are all great tips when it comes to purchasing a new construction home. To recap, you always want to use a real estate agent, someone that's got your back. Careful with those upgrades. You don't want to be spending too much money. If you are going to do upgrades, make sure that they're the smart ones, the structural ones. Pretty tough to do after the fact. And always shop the lender. You always want to make sure that you're not just taking their word for it, that they're going to give you the best deal. These are the tips I have to offer when it comes to purchasing a new construction home. Hope you found it helpful. If you have any other questions, hit me up in the comments, and I look forward to helping you more. Thanks.